Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Winner's Circle. I'm Margot Black, and today we are going to have a fascinating conversation about marketing in the metaverse. Where's the money in the metaverse? Today, my guest is Quynh Mai. She is the founder and CEO of Moving Image and Content in New York City. Moving Image and Content focuses big brands and clients into the near future. So I can't think of having a better guest on this topic. Quynh, welcome to the Winner's Circle.
Thank you so much, Margot. So happy to be here and talking about my favorite subject, the metaverse.
I know. So Quynh, let's have a little bit background on the metaverse. I actually have to read notes for this one. The origin of the metaverse fully describes a digital world that exists beyond that which we live. And it was coined by Neil Stephenson in his 1992 novel, Snow Crash. And then the concept became much further into our consciousness in Ready Player One. Quynh, what is the metaverse and how do people enter?
Let's just remember that the metaverse doesn't yet exist. It is what we see as the future of the internet. So every time you say internet, put in the word metaverse, and that's what the future will entail. And Ready Player One is probably an advanced version of what the metaverse is. But today, the metaverse exists in small forms, in Roblox, in Fortnite, where you can come in as a character, an avatar, and interact with people, do things, entertain yourself, have utility. And that's what the world is going to become. And we see that coming faster and faster. But rest assured, it's not there yet. So you haven't missed out.
Okay. So in terms of the metaverse, because we're here to talk about, winning strategies in marketing and how do brands enter? Like, how does somebody even enter the metaverse? And then I want to say, like, are they different areas? Like, what is my 14-year-old doing in there compared to what, a bank might be doing in there or an NFT? Can you set us up how you get in?
Absolutely. I get this question a lot from CEOs saying, why should I bother? Why do I need to enter the metaverse? What's the point? And I say to them, would you say that if I said, would you enter the internet? Would you be a part of online world? And the answer is sort of like, okay, I see where you're going at. And what's going to happen is the things that we do, in real life and on websites and social media platforms today will all sort of get funneled into what we call the metaverse, nay, the internet. So in terms of marketing in the metaverse, I think the first thing that any brand or organization or person needs to think about is, what is my role in the metaverse? What am I going to provide to others, especially for brands? Am I going to provide the ability for them to express themselves in, wearing clothes or goods? Am I going to be giving them services, banking services, consultative services, where I'm going to interact with them in the metaverse? Or am I there for pure entertainment? Am I there to have them play with me, have fun, all those things? And once you sort of realize what your role is in the metaverse, then you can think about, how do I market myself in the metaverse? Because you have a reason for being, right? Like today, you would not just open a website for no reason. You have a reason to do it. So what is your reason in the metaverse? What service or good are you providing? And therefore, the next question becomes, how do I market that good or service? And now it's completely digital, but still powered by human beings, still connected to one another through conversation, albeit behind an avatar.
That is fascinating. And I remember long, long ago when clients were like, I don't want to bother with social. I'm not doing social. And so in that way of the near future, which is the area that you really specialize in, I see that as the metaverse. And so now people are with avatars, right? So we don't know who they are or what they are. Do we know how old these people are? Is like, who are we marketing to if we're saying we're even marketing in the metaverse?
Yeah. Right now, there's not one profile verifier in the metaverse yet. So, many will say it's the Wild West. But do you remember the early days of the internet where, a JPEG would crash your computer?
Yes.
Or you would go onto a website and then there would be this spooling wheel? Well, that's where we are in the metaverse. So a lot of these issues like, who are you? What's your identity? Will be worked out. The interesting thing about the metaverse is you can come on as any form, right? I can come on as myself, Quynh Mai, and hold a meeting, hold a seminar, hold a talk or a conversation. But I can also come on as a doppelganger or as an avatar and be fun-loving Quynh who loves cooking and shopping and, old-fashioned Atari games. I can be anyone I want. So what is incredible for people and young people especially, and also for older people, is you can have two selves on the metaverse, and you don't have to worry about everything you say, everything you post coming back to you. You could just let your hair down and have a little bit of fun. So you can have multiple personas, the professional side and the fun side, and you could really play. Now, I think that for security reasons, a lot of companies are starting to think about verifiable identity. We don't want a lot of tricksters online, and all of those things are being worked on. And surely, the same way that right now you have that verifications check in social media, you'll have something similar in the metaverse.
Okay, and now the big question. So, some people made tons of money just getting certain URLs in the internet, and other people made great amounts of money in social media. Where is the money right now for brands? Or I know people are spending tons of money. I see, people buying skins or the avatars that you say. Where's the money? Like, who's making money now?
Yeah, we're in the early days of the metaverse. So the people who are investing in the metaverse are people who are investing in crypto, early adopters, early speculators that something's to come. So what they're buying at this very moment are things that they can collect, things with history, provenance. Jack Dorsey's first tweet ever, right? The first Economist article about the metaverse, the cover, because they're buying it almost as if they're buying it for a collection, a gallery, a digital gallery. So they can have this swag to say, I was the first. I was the first to buy that Jean-Michel Basquiat because I lived in Soho in the 80s and I saw him on the street and I bought it from him off the street. That's the person who's buying right now. So they're buying collectibles. They're buying things with a history, a story behind it so they can brag later. But very, very soon, what people are going to buy in the metaverse are goods and services that they buy in the real world. I mean, think about it, Margot. I spend a lot of money on this nice little, pink silk shirt, but very few people are
you
going
look
to see
marvelous, darling.
Thank
right.
you. Very few people are going to see me in the shirt. But if I were to buy a pink shirt in the metaverse, how many people am I going to see if I spend 8 hours a day on the internet/metaverse? So those objects are going to become very, very valuable for consumers because they're going to just see more people.
I mean, when we're talking about, things in the metaverse, we're talking about big amounts of money in some cases. Like Gucci had, if I'm not mistaken, a handbag, a digital handbag that sold for more money in the metaverse than it did in real life. Talk to us about that in the future of
that is oh my God, that is every designer's dream, right? You can sell something digitally more than you can do in real life. You're absolutely right. It was the Dionysus bag, which sold for $4,000 on Roblox and only about $1,000 in real life. But if you think about
I think $1,000 for a handbag in real life is still really expensive. For me, that's like a crazy, I don't know what I'd have to do treat, but to have it digitally is out of control.
But think about who this buyer was, right? They get to say they bought the first Gucci digital handbag. They can say to all their friends, they were there before anyone else. And frankly, whoever that buyer is definitely sauntering around Roblox right now with that handbag and seeing thousands and thousands of other people and showing off this one-of-a-kind item that is going to make history. It's really going to make history.
It made history. Here we are talking about it. And so what do you think, Quynh? First of all, if you were a brand or a small business and you wanted to enter and you just wanted to practice or you wanted to explore and you wanted to try something new, what would you say would be step 1, 2, and 3 to just explore?
The first thing you have to do, no matter who you are, is first be in the metaverse yourself. And that's really easy to do. Open up, buy some cryptocurrency, go to an NFT platform like OpenSea, buy yourself an NFT, put it in your digital wallet. You can spend a couple $100s. You can get them for free, but have the experience of what it's like to buy an object in the metaverse. And from there, just hang out on some websites. Go to Decentraland and poke around. If you have kids like you and I do, teenage kids, look over their shoulder as they're hanging out in Roblox or
Oh,
Fortnite.
my kid will love that. No, I see it in Fortnite. I mean, I really see that you can spend easily a lot of money in there. And I also see exactly what you're saying, how you're wearing it in your digital life and you want to look cool. You want to look hip. I want to look
Absolutely.
15 pounds lighter and with great hair.
Absolutely. And think about TikTok, right? Before COVID, people above, I would say 35 were never on it. But then when their kids were home and their kids were bored during COVID, they showed their parents, they started doing duets. And the fastest growing audience on TikTok is actually Gen X, my
I love
generation.
TikTok. I mad crazy love TikTok. I'm Gen X. I find it fantastic. It is the most authentic thing I've ever seen in social media, and I crazy mad love and appreciate it.
Absolutely. And
So,
this is the same thing though with the metaverse. It's not so hard. Just dip your toes into it. There's no mistakes. Walk around in the metaverse, use your cursor, move around. But what's really interesting is when you see other people in the metaverse and you see how proficient they are talking to each other. I was once in the metaverse speaking to a stick of butter,
that's
and
hilarious.
it's hilarious. And it's just right now it's fun. It's a little bit of a gaming element, but I cannot emphasize enough that the metaverse is the internet. So
Right.
if you are a company selling goods or services, you're going to have to figure out how to provide those goods and services. First, you've done it in the internet, you've done it now in social media, and now you have to do it in the metaverse, because the metaverse is a collapse of the entire internet, which means social media as well, into one platform. So the metaverse will
So
become
fascinating.
the internet, social
Uh-huh.
media, and entertainment all collapsed into one. And remember, the gaming world is actually bigger than Hollywood.
I
So
know,
it's
that's really
there.
amazing too. I was going to ask you a question, Quynh. I could talk to you forever about this, and we'll have to do another one. But in heading towards the end of this, can you tell us what big brands or what brands are doing it well now, and what does well mean, and how do we follow along or play
Well,
along?
the early players from a global brand perspective are people like Nike. Of course, they have a ton of money. So let's say that's aside. But what they're doing is they're not trying to force themselves into the metaverse. They're saying, what do people want in the metaverse? What could I provide that's of value? And they're doing things like a Nike Roblox game. Oh, my son is walking
Just
up here
keep
when
it.
I'm in the
Don't worry.
room.
Don't worry. Just keep going. It's all right. We all have
Thank
life.
you.
That's what I love about COVID now, is it made everybody human. Just keep going.
Absolutely,
And if
absolutely,
anybody knows a little bit more about the metaverse, I think it's the moms that really understand, because we see what our kids are spending. I see what my
absolutely,
kids buying. This is real money. This is no joke money.
absolutely. My son would rather have, Roblox currency than real world currency. He gets more out of it. But like what I was saying, the metaverse is so interesting because it is where we're going to spend 8+ hours a day. We're going to have to look like something in the metaverse, and that's, an avatar. That's what brands can do, give people an identity. We're going to have to wear something and live somewhere, and that's the goods that brands will have to provide to people in the metaverse. And there'll be
Wow.
services in the metaverse. I'm going to need to connect with people, talk, have conversations, listen to music, have fun experiences. And that's where the metaverse, will be this collapsing of the internet, social media, and gaming and entertainment all under one umbrella.
Wow. Well, if you are a person watching this, or a brand or a business, and you are all about the early adapter, I think the metaverse is the place for you to be. And if you're a brand that wants to figure out how to be in the metaverse, you need to reach out to Quynh Mai and Moving Image and Content, and they will hold your hand, because I'm going to make her hold my hand as I try to figure out what is next in this very powerful, very influential, global, and all, fascinating level of being, and the new wave of marketing. So Quynh Mai, thank you so much for joining us and letting us come into a big new world with you.
Thank you so much, Margot. Always a pleasure.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much.